Big welcome to all of you new Syndicate members that just joined us. On behalf of everybody in the Syndicate, I just want to say welcome. And you're in good company. You are among very hardworking, talented producers who are taking their sync careers very, very seriously. And we're very, very happy to have you with us. So in this video, I'm going to briefly walk you through how to navigate the Syndicate, some of our sort of common sense rules and guidelines that we follow here, and how to make sure, most importantly, you get the most out of your membership. Okay, I have many members who participate enough in our opportunities that their winnings, either from a sync contest or from consideration fees from our opportunities, are more than paying for their membership fees. So if you're one of those producers that likes to work and likes to participate, then I want to show you how to basically take advantage of this group and get the most bang for your buck, so to speak. It's just like in school. The kids that sat in the back of the classroom that didn't really participate, didn't really raise their hands, didn't really, chime in at all, they don't get as much of an education as the kids that really sit in the front and ask questions and engage in the content. So if you want to get the most out of your time here in the Syndicate, be one of the kids in the front and really be active in this group and participate. But before you participate, obviously following instructions and guidelines is going to be very important. So that's what we're going to go over in this video so you know how to find everything, okay? So now that you've been accepted into the Syndicate, you'll notice that the top of your screen when you're in the group turns red, okay? So if you ever see this red bar at the top, whether you're on mobile or desktop, now you know you're in the Syndicate. So a real quick guideline is that anything that happens within the Syndicate needs to stay in the Syndicate. It's just like Las Vegas, okay? It's because we have very confidential information that we deal with when we're working with library partners. Not only the ones that I bring on board, but Mike and Trevor are two other library owners that are gathering tracks from us, and they're putting confidential information into the Syndicate and trying to get tracks for their library. So we need to make sure that we're respecting all these boundaries, because if we start blabbing about what we're working on, we could jeopardize our working relationships with the libraries that I bring on board, or Mike or Trevor working with us, and we certainly don't want to do that, right? So let's just make sure that if you have a question about our opportunities, you post it. Make sure you see this red at the top. Anything you post, as long as you're seeing that, you are inside of the Syndicate, okay? So I want to make sure that that's all very clear. If you ever need to learn how to find us again, you don't know how to get back to us once you're in. Obviously, when you're in the main network, when you log in, you're obviously going to see the orange bar at the top because you're in the main general area of Sync Academy. All you do to find the Syndicate is you click on Groups, and then you click on the Syndicate right here, okay? And then now you'll see that it turns red. So bingo, bingo, we are inside of the Syndicate now. So how do you find all the perks and the benefits now that you have access to? So the easiest way, the quickest way to find all of it is just scroll down until you see the featured section right here. So you'll see it says featured, and then you'll actually be able to, there's a little bar here, you can actually scroll left and right. You'll be able to do this on your mobile app as well, okay? This is where all of the main added benefits of the Syndicate are. This featured bar, it's basically your lifeline right here in the Syndicate, okay? If you're ever confused, you don't know where to go, what to do, go here. There's enough stuff for you to get lost in terms of all the opportunities and content you can dig into that you should have plenty to do, okay? First, let's start with the Sync Business Master Course. So that's my usually $600 master course that talks about a lot of the in-depth issues and I should say topics that we talk about somewhat in the Sync Academy tutorials, but we haven't nearly gone into as much depth as I do in the Sync Business Master Course. So all you have to do if you want to start watching those videos and access the digital downloads, which is the music library directory, submission templates, all that good stuff, is just click on that box right there. And you'll actually see that right here, now you have access to the digital downloads. That's where you're going to get the music library directory, submission templates, and the blueprint for deciding, how you want to put your tracks together. And then if you want to watch the 8 videos of the master course, they are actually posted as comments below, okay? So you actually can just scroll right down and watch these one at a time. Just click on the play button and you can watch them all. Really, really in-depth, interesting information here that can really actually, I know a lot of people have a lot of worries and fears of like, how do I know if I know everything? Am I going to be missing out on something? This is the kind of stuff that should hopefully put those fears away. So definitely take the time, one at a time. These are 20, 30 minutes each, so they can take a bit of time, but just maybe once a day, go through one of those so that you can get through that course. Okay, really important stuff that you guys now have access to. Okay, after that, let's talk about, let's see, we will talk about my reviews playlist. So what we do about once a month, maybe a little bit longer, depending on what's going on in the syndicate, is we do open reviews. Okay, so I know a lot of you guys joined because you really wanted to be, you wanted my feedback on your tracks, and I can't wait to actually do that. So how this works is we basically cycle through different features in the syndicate. So right now, I just posted a licensing opportunity, and we'll talk a little bit about that in this video. But we wait until that opportunity is wrapped up before we move on to the next opportunity. So the next one we're going to do will be an open review. So you need to hang tight as soon as this opportunity is over, and it depends. Sometimes they're a week or two. Sometimes they can last a month. It kind of depends on how quickly we get tracks submitted for our opportunities. As soon as that's wrapped up, we move right on to our next one, which will be an open review. The reason why we do it that way, and I can't stack, a bunch of different things at once, is I need to be kind to myself. I have to go at a pace that's actually realistic and something I can actually pace myself with. If I had to be giving reviews while I'm doing licensing opportunities and I'm running my entire business, I know that I would completely stress out and shut this all down and just not be able to do the syndicate anymore. And I know you guys don't want to have to do that and have me not be able to do this. And I certainly want to keep this going. So the way we've been doing it now, we've been doing it for about 2 or 3 years. And this pace works for me, and it seems to work for most members. Of course, some members want reviews all the time. I understand that. If it's an issue for you, let me know. We'll figure it out. We can even, of course, you still have your 30-day money-back guarantee. If that's just not going to work for you, cancel, and we'll get you refunded, and you can go right back to Sync Academy or whatever you were doing before, okay? But this is just the pace that works for me, and I want to make sure that, of course, it's another reason why I have limited numbers of the members that I accept, is I can't overwhelm myself, because if I overwhelm myself, then everybody starts getting bad feedback, bad reviews, and then I start dreading doing this kind of stuff, and I'm kicking and screaming doing this and resenting it, and I just don't want to give any poor customer service, okay? I want to make sure that every time that I do offer you guys opportunities, open reviews, you guys are getting top-notch A+ feedback and attention and focus from me, okay? So this is how we do it. But in the meantime, as you wait for the open review to post your track, here's something you can really do, which is really cool, is you click on this open reviews or this playlist right here. And when you click on that, you're actually gonna go to a private YouTube playlist that actually has every single previous open review video I've ever done. So we're talking about, I don't know if it's 100 hours, but it's a lot of content. And every syndicate member that's ever posted a track for open reviews, I record it, I put it in video format, and I give it to all of you guys to be able to watch me react to your track as I record the video, and I post them all. But these are private. Again, if it's in the syndicate, keep it in the syndicate. This is not stuff that I release publicly on YouTube. I don't put it anywhere else. These are private videos. They are hosted on YouTube, but they're private. That nobody else gets to see them except for you guys, okay? So really, really good stuff that can obviously be something you can dive into now, even though it's not your track. Starting to listen to how I review tracks, you'll start to pick up on a lot of the patterns that you can basically implement and put into your music, okay? And then we also should talk about sync contests right now. We just wrapped up one, I think it was just about a week ago. So we're not going to do that one until we're done with this licensing opportunity, then our open review, and then finally we'll get to that sync contest. But that's where we have cash prizes. Usually it's first place $300, second place $200, third place $100. And I put realistic modeling or a real a brief that I really got in my career, but I sort of open it up to all of you guys to practice at it, essentially. And there still is going to be, instead of there being a real sync opportunity with a real sync fee, I give you the sync contest winning prize, right? And we do that through PayPal. So it's just a way for you to kind of like dive into this industry, give something a shot, see how it works for you. It's a really, really cool way to basically practice, right? Before you even maybe partner with a library, so you understand what it's really going to take. And hey, earning a couple extra bucks and maybe enough to even more than pay for your syndicate membership, really good stuff that I know a lot of members have really enjoyed that since we launched that about 6 months ago. And last but not least, I know licensing opportunities, right? That's what a lot of you guys really want. You want your tracks out there. You really want to start working. You want to get involved, okay? So let me go ahead and run you through my latest one that I just posted so I can show you how it works. Now, there are 3 of us that post opportunities here independent of each other. And if you submit to an opportunity from me, because you'll see that my name is there and I'm in the video talking about it, you can ask me questions about it, okay? Same thing goes, though, if you go for one of these opportunities, you see Trevor here, We'll click on his opportunity. You can see it's Trevor, and this is Trevor in here. If you have a question about submitting to this, you need to post it here on this one and ask Trevor, okay? I am not in charge of his opportunities. I am not in control of any of that kind of stuff. So he might have specific things that he wants to have you guys do that has nothing to do with me. It's his company, it's his catalog. So make sure you do appropriately direct those questions to him. Same thing goes for Mike. So we have Mike here, who's our third, our other music library owner who puts in his opportunities for us to submit to. If you have a question for him, you see his name here, he's in the video, post it for him, reach out to him directly. Really important guideline, can't stress this enough. If you want to work with Trevor, Mike, or any of the libraries that I bring on board, you must submit through the Syndicate, okay? We do not allow private sending of tracks to them, private messaging, emailing either Mike, Trevor, or even trying to go through me to get to my libraries or something like that. If you're going to do that and it's been reported to me, your membership might be jeopardized. You might actually not continue on with us. I do not want these guys being bombarded and harassed with a bunch of people trying to send them a lot of that kind of stuff. And I also know that if you're in the Syndicate, it's open for all Syndicate members, okay? So we're not doing favoritism here where some people get to sneakily sneak a couple tracks over and get those accepted. If there's any opportunity happening here, trust me, it's all happening above board. It's all happening in a place where all Syndicate members can see the brief and they can all equally participate in it and have an equal shot at it. That is our rule, just to keep things fair and to keep things moving along safely, okay? So please do be mindful of that and don't try to do anything sneaky and get around what we're doing here with the opportunities. This is the way, if you want to get your tracks into these opportunities and into these outlets, it has to be done through here. And by the way, this is a way to get feedback. This is a way to be participating in this community, which is a really good thing, okay? So let's just go through my opportunity that I just released so we can kind of walk through how you should look at it, how you navigate it, how you post your tracks, right? So this one is going to be for raw, energetic metal and rock cues that I want for this opportunity. Actually, not that I want, but that the library that we're submitting to wants. And so what you need to do, first of all, is watch these videos. For every opportunity, for the most part, we always have an instructional video that we post. And we're not doing that for our health, okay? We're actually doing that to try to give you the best idea of how to really nail it and get an A, meaning that your track got accepted onto our album, okay? So make sure you do watch that video first and foremost. Then once that's done, go through and read the instruction. You need to do both. Watch the video and read, because there might be something that you catch on the reading that you didn't catch in the video, and vice versa, okay? Our feedback system works like this. So if you post a track and we love it, and maybe we have a couple of small changes, or maybe we don't at all, we just think it's perfect, we give you an A. A obviously means accepted, right? You are on the album, you're taking one of the spots. And in mine, I tell you right here that I'm looking for 12 tracks. So you would get one of those 12 spots, right? If you submit a track and I give you a B, that means that I will accept a revised version of your track, and I'll give you some notes for what you need to fix. So that, otherwise, your track, in other words, your track is maybe like 80% there, but you got to fix a couple of things, and I'll point that out. I'll write that down and let you know what it is. And then I want you to post as a new comment below this new track, and you need to list what you changed. You need to let me know and remind me what exactly did you change in the track. And as long as you do all that, I will give it another listen, and we'll see if we can get you to do that A. The next time, though, you submit that track and it went further away, it just wasn't quite there, or the first time you submit a track, it was just so far out of left field, it wasn't quite following with our references, the sounds weren't there, the mix was off, there's timing issues, whatever it is, I'll let you know what it is, but there's just something that's just so far away that even a couple of revisions is just not going to do it, we give you a C. It just means that your track is just not accepted, and we're not going to accept revisions. That's very important. If you get a C, don't think that you take those notes and go, okay, here it is, Jesse. I'm going to tell you and remind you, you already submitted this. I gave you a C. We're not going forward with this one, okay? It's just a way, again, we've been doing this for a couple of years. This feedback system is simple, it's clear, and it also keeps you out of revision hell, meaning that we don't want to have, we used to do this where we'd send you 15 different revision notes, like, okay, change this, change this, change this. And sometimes after 15 rounds of that, we'd say, you know what, this track just isn't working. And then we wasted everybody's time. We wasted your time, you wasted our time. Let's just make sure we don't do that. If your track is close enough and we feel strong about it, we'll give you that B. Usually that first time that you submit it back, though, and we go like, you didn't quite get what we wanted there, we'll probably give it a C, and we'll tell you, just sorry, you need to move on to the next one, okay? But that's what this is about. This is about tough love, but this is about honesty, and this is about getting you some feedback that can actually be useful for you, okay? And for my opportunity right now, there is a $50 consideration fee paid to you per track that you get accepted. Not all opportunities have this. You can obviously read the opportunity, right, by watching the video, reading the terms so you understand exactly what you're getting involved in. With me, you can see that you're keeping the writer share, and the library that we're submitting to, Library X, keeps the publisher shares. For them, they don't do sync fees, so there's no sync fees included with these opportunities through Library X. And the reason why I put those out there ahead of time is so that you know, and for all of our opportunities, I require that, so that you know what you're getting involved with before you even submit any tracks and before you commit some time to these opportunities. You should know what you're really agreeing to before you start getting into it, okay? Of course, when you get the references, you can download those. I go over the references in that video though, so that's why you do need to watch that. Submission guidelines, extremely important. If you miss this stuff up, it could jeopardize your ability to get accepted onto the album, okay? So we're doing, for mine, I'm doing 3 tracks per syndicate member for this particular opportunity. Trevor and Mike are different. Again, it's their opportunities. They might say unlimited, they might say 5, they might say 1. You need to read those guidelines and understand it. And if they don't mention it and you're not clear on that, ask them the questions. Or if I forget to do something, which happens, I'm human, if something's not clear, ask me about my opportunities, okay? It's all about that clear communication, especially in sync licensing. For mine, this is pretty much across the board for all of mine, 2 to 3 minutes. So 2 minutes minimum and 3 minutes maximum for the length of your track. If you give me a track that's 1 minute and 59 seconds, I will reject it. I'll give you a C. I'll say, sorry, you didn't follow the basic guidelines of this. Yes, that's harsh. Yes, that's tough. Why can't I be more flexible? Because in the real world in sync licensing, people aren't that flexible, because you need to really get in the habit of following for the instructions and guidelines. So trust me, it might be a little bit of tough love in the beginning, but you're going to appreciate this sort of boot camp training that you're going through now. Because when you get into the real world of sync licensing and start working directly with libraries, which is the ultimate goal for you, right? You're going to know that like you got the right training here in the syndicate. And that's really what this is all about. So that's what I have, guys. You obviously can go ahead and post within the syndicate if you'd like to talk to your fellow members. I do encourage you, if you are new, introduce yourself, reach out, kind of let people know what you're all about, why you're in the syndicate, what you're looking to get out of this. Though again, the kids in the front row, the more that you interact, the more you're going to get out of this, the more you're really going to enjoy and get the most value for what you're doing here in the syndicate. If you have any questions, customer service questions, please always email me. Don't post it here in the syndicate or on the Sync Academy platform, jesse@syncmymusic.com. That's where you need to email me for customer service issues, cancellations, refunds, something like that. If you're confused about how to find something, a feature in the syndicate you're not sure what to do about, certainly you can post that here and we can have fellow members or myself help you find that kind of stuff. So once again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. Welcome to the syndicate. We're excited to have you here. And if there's anything we can do to make this a better experience for you, please be vocal and let us know. But in the meantime, as you just saw, you got a lot of stuff to dive into now, a lot of content, a lot of opportunities that you can start participating in and seeing if you want to be involved in. So from all of us here in the syndicate, we welcome you and we can't wait to hear the great music you submit.